welcome back. Now I do know that I keep popping into transparency mode on this, and to be candid, I would say 80% of the time I actually do work in transparency mode, but that wouldn't make it easy for you to see what I was doing. Why? Because I'm used to it. Anyway, let's get back to this. Okay, so we left it whereby I'll put it into vertex. However, what I'm going to do is come up to root, select this torus or one, put it into transparency mode, and now if I zoom in I can see a lot more. Now you saw that I pressed H on the keyboard and that brought up this, well, little menu here. Now at the moment the only thing I've really got in the scene which is active, remember we do have the wheel guard up above, but that's frozen. So these two items are the only things which are active within the scene, and it's showing me which they are. So here I could actually select the cylinder and say OK, and the cylinder's now been selected. Well, why do we need this? Well, the fact is that we could have a scene whereby there was lots of pieces of geometry, and sometimes it's almost impossible to actually select them via the screen or via the viewport. So by pressing H we bring up this nice little menu here, and of course we can select our pieces and say OK. I just thought I'd let you know that one. Right, so we've got that one selected. I'm going to go into perspective mode for this pullback. Let's zoom around. As you can see now, I just wanted to see how far back these went. But apart from that, I also want to show you there's different ways to do things. There's loads of ways to do things. I could have selected all the vertices and pushed this section back that little bit further. I'm going to go edge on this one. I'll select that, and press shift. Is it selecting it? Well, seeing as I'm not on the right thing, so let's go up there. I thought I had this selected. That's better. Up to edge, select that edge there, press shift, and what I want to do is take all of this back, or just this top edge section back just a little bit so it's closer to the torus, which is going to be the tire. Okay, right, let's have another look around now. Still on edge, I'm going to select this edge now, press shift. That's selected all of the edge. Our gizmos down here. This time I'm going to press shift and we're going to extrude this out. So there it goes. It's just going into the torus at that point there. So I'm going to leave that there. Now let's pull out a little bit. Come up to the root, deselect. Let's select the torus, Alt X to take it out of transparency mode. We're just going to have a good look around now, and that's not looking too bad. We still need to do a little bit of work here on the back section. In fact, what I think I'll do is grab this section here. We're going to go back into edge, select that edge there, press shift, and we'll shove that back. Now I do know that on this back section there isn't as much detail. In fact, it goes from the rim and it just dips down like that, and then we have the axle section which is attached to this. Okay, well, what I do want to do now, as far as the wheel is concerned, that's more or less completed. So we've got this selected. Let's bring it back up to root, and now I'm going to go attach, and we're going to attach the torus. Now once it's done that, it applies the same colour, etc., and it is now all one piece. And as it's all one piece at the moment, we'll call it landing gear wheel. And it's on the port side, sorry, the left side. So we'll put L. So landing gear wheel L. Now I'm not quite finished with this here at the moment. Let's just take a look at our reference image here. As we can see, there's a section around here, and from what I can tell from other reference material, is this is quite a big nut that fits or gets screwed on to the axle section, and then it's something like a big linchpin that fits through to stop it from coming off. So really I do need to create a bolt for that. So let's pop into our left view. Let's go zoom, pull back, let's get this up into the center section. Sorry about that, the system crashed once again. As far as the wheel's concerned though, it is more or less finished, except for this section down here, which looks as though it is a large washer that fits over the axle, and then through the axle section there is a linchpin that keeps it all in place, stops it from working its way loose. So that's something that we will put into place when we've created the rest of the landing gear here. Okay, so let's start making a move on that one then. Well, as you can see, I've got a new reference image here, and this is a section that we're going to be creating. And as you can see, it's made in several different sections. That looks to be a hydraulic section there, for that when they come into landing, it compresses, etc. So we've got this section here, which is jointed but attached also. So let's start this with a cylinder. And what I'm going to do is just drag the cylinder there for a moment. Let's get it out for the radius there. Let's push it back a little bit. Cap segments 1, height segments 1, sides, well, we'll leave it at go down to, well, 32, leave it at that. Right, what I need to do is basically convert that to a polygon, and whilst we're here, open it up, put it into polygons. I'm going to select that one and delete it, and the top one and delete that. Then up to root, put our angle snap on, and let's just bring this round to 90 degrees. And of course, if you can't see the yellow, have a look down in the bottom section on the X axis, and as you can see there, it's 85, 80, 85, 90. Okay, let's take our move tool for a moment. Let's bring it across. Now if we look at the image here, we can see that this really starts just below the wheel, round about there, and it pops up. Now I'm keeping this at a 90-degree angle at this moment in time because it's actually easier to work. So let's pop there. Vertices, select that. We'll select all those vertices there. I need to change that to square, and let's bring them up to what will be about there. We'll change the colour. We'll have it as our steel grey again and say OK to that. I'm going to pop over to Edge, pop up to Edit, grab our Swift Loop, and I'm going to put one in about there and one about there. Pop up a little bit further, say one there and one there. What I'm taking are these points here as my reference. Okay, right click to end that action. Let's pull this across here and zoom in a little bit. Popping down to Poly, I want to select that one. Press Shift and then pop down here to Extrude. Let's zero that, and what we want is local normals. Let's bring this out to about 0.4 to begin with and say OK for that. Into perspective mode, because I actually prefer working in perspective mode. Now as we can see, let's come up to this section here and I want to pull this across so that we can see. Okay, now then, what I want to do is pop up to Edit again, Swift Loop, and we need to bring this one down to about there. Right click, let's go to Polygon again, deselect, select that one, press Shift, and back over here to Extrude once more. Extrude that. Now that's 0.4. Let's have a look down here. Say OK to that. Yep, that's looking about right. Okay, mindful of the time, we'll continue this in the next session. I'll catch you then.